good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hey there, folks. My name is Brad Varnell, and this is the Infinite Crypto YouTube channel. I am so excited to have you all with me today. Thank you so much for being here, man. I noticed we got Eric here in the chat, Dave, Makarov, C90. Thank you all very much, and to any of the rest of you that are here watching on this beautiful Monday morning, thank you so much for being here. Whether it's Monday morning or Monday afternoon, or maybe even late Monday night or Tuesday morning for you, I am so glad that you are here. I'm just going to kind of kick back and relax today and share a little bit of information with you, some stuff that's kind of just been on my heart. I left on Friday morning, bright and early. My 17-year-old son took my wife and I to the airport, and we flew to Virginia for my wife's graduation. So my wife decided a couple of years ago to embark on a journey. She wanted to go back to college and get a degree. And so even though I'm not a big school guy myself, I fully supported her and her journey, and watching her focus on this goal over the last couple of years, and to be crushing her, scholarly goals, and just, the work and the focus that she put into being successful was a lot of fun to watch. And it was cool to be able to fly into Virginia and actually go. She goes to school online, but the school does have a physical campus out in Lynchburg, Virginia. To be able to fly out to Virginia, not have to ask a boss if we could take the days off, to just be able to set up the trip and go and really, go watch her. We flew all the way there, went through all of the stuff that you go through traveling, renting the car, getting checked into the hotel, all of that fun. And then when we get to the commencement ceremony, she was literally like one of the very first people to walk across the stage. And as all of you know, when you're at a graduation, it literally, took all of about maybe 30 seconds, 1 minute or 2 minutes at the absolute most for her to walk up on the stage, shake hands with a couple of people, and get that diploma. But the pride in her eyes and the excitement that I know that she was feeling, because folks, man, this was not an easy journey. There was a lot of ups and downs. There was a lot of nights where she wasn't sure if she was, why she was doing it and if she should be doing it. And, it was kind of a crazy couple of years, and now she's going to continue on and go for her next degree. She should be able to get her bachelor's here in the next 12 months, and we will be back there again. There's a lot of little things that happened on this trip that kind of reminded me of, kind of our journey here in cryptocurrency, and how we could learn so much from what my wife went through for the last 2 years, as far as, having a goal. She had this goal, and it was 2 years out. There was no way for her to really accelerate this goal and make it happen any quicker. And sometimes, folks, with our cryptocurrency journey, we're at the mercy of the markets to a certain extent. And so no matter how fast we want this to happen, there's some time that it takes. But the good news also, folks, is on the other side, with what we're up to, there are some ways that we can accelerate this journey. And so that's part of what this talk, what I'm going to talk about this morning is about. It's called Why 10X is Easier than 2X. And full transparency, this is not my idea. There's a gentleman that wrote a book not too long ago called Why 10X is Easier Than 2X. I'm going to pull it up and show it to you here a little bit in a moment. Thank you, Dave P. Yeah, she was super excited. As you guys know, I'm not a big school guy. I hated school. I quit high school after my sophomore year. She's got 6 brothers and sisters, And she's one of, I don't remember exactly how many of her brothers and sisters have graduated from college. There's one of her brothers for sure that I know of. I don't know if any of her other brothers and sisters graduated from college. So she's pretty excited about that. Plus going back and doing that, she's 36 years old now, getting ready to turn 37 in September. So going back, as a person in her 30s, she got pregnant when she was very young and started having kids at a pretty young age, which kind of derailed some of her scholastic goals and that type of stuff. So to watch her go back later in life and really crush it was definitely a lot of fun. And I know that it was great for her confidence too. So Dehanna J, welcome. So one of the things about this format that I wish you guys could hop up and ask questions. I'm always kind of curious how everybody's doing. And I know that it's so easy to just, especially in a group setting and when you're talking with somebody like me and you're trying to be positive, if I asked everybody, hey, how's your Monday morning going? Most of you would probably say, fantastic. It's going great. Thanks for asking, Brad. But sometimes I wish that we could be a little bit more intimate and that you could really say, hey, to be honest with you, this weekend sucked. I had a huge fight with my wife, or, my transmission on my car went out and I've got this $1,500 unexpected expense. And, it goes on and on and on. The little things that can happen in our life, so it's not really a bad thing by any means, but like for us, we got a phone call. My daughter has a cat that she took from a neighbor that was moving out of her house. And after the neighbor had moved out and she's got this cat, she finds out that the cat is pregnant. Well, long story short, it was easier for her to bring the pregnant cat over to our house and have the kittens here. So while we were gone, we thought she was going to bring the kittens over on Monday after we got home. But it turns out the cat went into labor anyway. She got the cat over here on about Saturday. And so we came home to, a bathroom that's tied up with a cat that just had, 4, beautiful kittens. Once again, it's not a bad thing, but it's a distraction. Last night, the flight from Richmond, Virginia to Chicago, and then Chicago to Las Vegas, our flight got delayed in Richmond. We almost missed our connecting flight. I didn't take my laptop with me, so I was a little bit worried about what in the world I was going to do for today's live stream. But even with all that, it got to be, probably 3:00 or so in the morning before we got home, and I actually, got to sleep. And the negative guy on one shoulder, that negative voice is whispering, hey, Brad, just, do the live stream later in the day. Nobody's going to notice. Nobody's going to care. And then the winner in me is like, hey, shut up, man. We're doing the live stream at 9:00. We do the live stream at 9:00, and it's going to take a lot more of an emergency or something catastrophic happening at 9 in the morning to not have this live stream. So, I think that's going to be one of the cool things about our inner circle. We've got the Infinite Crypto Inner Circle that we're getting ready to launch to the public. Of course, obviously, as my YouTube viewers, you're going to see it and have a chance to experience it first. And then, but we are going to be running some ads and driving some traffic to the website to hopefully give people that maybe aren't already in crypto, but that are just looking for some good, wholesome advice on how to tackle life and, create their financial freedom all at the same time. Give them an opportunity to hopefully find, myself and the Infinite Crypto YouTube channel. But one of the things that I'm really looking forward to, that mastermind, that group coaching program, is the fact that we're all going to have the ability to pop up and talk and share. And I think it's going to create a lot of synergy. They say that two minds create more like the power of 3 or 4 minds. And if you get 3 minds together, it's exponential. You have like the power of 9 minds and so on and so forth. But not only that, the camaraderie and just the ability to create relationships where we're helping each other. Because I know, as a Christian, we go to church and we put on our church face, and we get dressed up, and we go in on Sunday and we act happy and like life is all sunshine and rainbows, but it ain't true. Don't get me wrong, I'm excited about life, and I am happy, and I am positive, but I'm not without challenges, and none of us are. And I think that one of the fastest ways, and one of the reasons that it's easier to 10x than 2x, is because we have the ability as humans to come together and to help each other. And I guarantee you that whatever you're going through in life, I've probably gone through it. And if I haven't personally gone through it, somebody else that's watching this has gone through it and is going to be going through it. So I am looking forward. I wish, I know there is ways that I can pull people up onto this stream. I've got a link that I can share. So that's something that maybe I'm going to do in the future. I'm not going to try to share it to everybody, but let me ask you a question. Hey, I love you too, Deanna. So I love you very much. Thank you for being here, and congratulations again on graduating. This is my beautiful bride, and my wife that I am so proud of. And I know, she supports me like I support her. And it's amazing what she puts up with this YouTube channel and the things that we're doing. There's a lot of days that even though we live in the same house, and this studio was actually in my home, where we don't see each other a whole lot. She'll put together a meal and make some lunch for me, put together a meal, make some dinner, and I'll run downstairs and eat it real quick and spend a couple of minutes with her, give her a kiss. But there's a lot of days, even though we live like literally within feet of each other, where you probably spend 8 or 10 or 12 hours working at a job, but then you get an opportunity to come home and spend some time with your family, where right now I'm running really hard. And I thank you, babe, for supporting me in everything that we do. Right now we got a season, folks. One of the ways that you 10x instead of 2x is you make it happen during the season. I'm telling my son and my editor, William, all the time, hey, we've got a window of opportunity here for the next 12 months that we're not going to get again for another 4 years. And so we need to take advantage of this next 12 months. Those of us that put in the work and take advantage of the next 12 months are definitely going to 10x or 20 or even 50 or 100x compared to those that wait too long and then try to make up for it at the last second. What do we got here? Ha, ha, ha. For sure, that's true. Last 2 weeks were garbage for me, but we try to face it. That's why I often say everything is fine also, because I don't want to bother people with my problems. Amen, Makarov. I appreciate you being, transparent and bearing your soul. Like I said, between, I'm getting a little bit older. I'm 50, getting ready to turn 51 in July. And my dad passed away just under a year ago. And, now that I'm getting to this age, my mom passed away back in 2019, I want to say. So it's been 5 years. But, you start getting up into my age range and you start losing people. I had an uncle that passed away in the last few years, and just so on and so forth. So you start losing people, start losing animals. There's, life is not easy, folks. I don't think God made it to be easy. He wants us here to be tested. But at the same time, I do believe that it is a test and that we have the responsibility to pass the test, to come out on top in this life. And so, hopefully we can do that here together by sticking together. We got a great vehicle. There's a lot of folks out there that have big dreams that don't have a vehicle. So wake up with gratitude, wake up feeling blessed. Not everybody has crypto that they can turn back and that they can fall back on. There more and more people are going to learn about crypto. More and more people are going to have that opportunity. But folks, talk about living a life of quiet desperation. You know how many people are out there that have dreams, that want more out of life, that just know something ain't quite right. They know that this job that they have is not providing the life that they want to have. It's not providing for their kids and their family the way that they want it to, yet they don't know what to do, how to get out of it. And, that's partially their fault. I mean, there's a lot of books, there's a lot of things you can read, listen to, and grow. So it's on them to a certain extent, but there's a lot of people out there that haven't found their vehicle. Where those of you that are watching this channel, we have our vehicle. We have some cryptocurrency, and so it's a great spot to be in. And no matter how bad things are in life, just remember, hey, you're watching this video on a computer or a cell phone, and just that alone probably puts you up in the top 5% of the world, as far as the wealth that you have in your life. And so without any further ado, let me share my screen. Let's get over here to this 10x is easier than 2x. And then let me remember to change the view on here so that you guys can actually see what I'm seeing. And then I'm going to add that to the stage. And there we go, folks. That's probably a little hard for you to see, but if you go, I've got my VPN on, so it's showing me here that I'm in Australia. I do just about everything with a VPN, folks. When you're a crypto guy, you just kind of get used to using a VPN, but this is available, on Amazon in America and everything too. But, 10x is easier than 2x. Let me click on that and see. That'll pull up, and then I think I got to switch to that view. Yeah, there we go. So 10x is easier than 2x. How world-class entrepreneurs achieve more by doing less. And so I watched this gentleman. I haven't read the book yet, but I'm getting it. It's on the way, and I'm going to read it. I watched this gentleman on a couple of different YouTube channels. One of my favorite YouTube channels, Ed Milet Show, had him on as a guest very recently. And then my other guy that I really enjoy, Myron Golden, had this gentleman, Benjamin Hardy, on his show. Its book is written by Dr. Benjamin Hardy and Dan Sullivan. And they go through and just, expanding upon one of the high-level foundation teachings. Strategic coach co-founder Dan Sullivan explains why achieving 10x growth is easier than going for 2x growth. And what it really comes down to, folks, in a lot of cases, let me go back here. When you ask, why is 10x easier than 2x? Says, in other words, an increase in quality produces exponential results. The assertion here is that 10x goals are easier than 2x goals because they are less competitive and require you to go deep on a few things rather than broad on many things. So right there, they're less competitive and they require you to go deep on a few things rather than broad on many things. What does that mean, folks? So I'm going to give you my take on what that means after listening to this gentleman talk about it a little bit and then just seeing it in my life. The first thing, when he talks about it's less competitive, it's just the fact of the world. The bigger you dream and the bigger your goals are, you would think that would put you in a position where it's harder and more difficult. But what you got to remember, folks, is that average people are average. Most of a lot of the world is just average. And the fact that you're watching this today kind of sets you apart. It shows that you're not average. But by getting up above the crowd, you put yourself in a space where there's much less competition. The second thing, where it talks about doing a few things with excellence and diving deep on them, that's the real key, folks. So with cryptocurrency investing, with, building a business of your own, even if you decided that you want to get into shape and, chisel your physique, when it really comes down to it, folks, there's what are called revenue producing activities, or the activities that create most of the results. So in cryptocurrency investing, Um, a lot of people spend a lot of their time not doing revenue producing activities. And so you got to be careful about that. Like even watching this video, yeah, there is an aspect to it where you're working on yourself, you're building yourself, you're growing yourself, and that is going to help you with the revenue producing activities, and it's going to help you create longer, bigger, more sustainable wealth. But at the same time, folks, there's some people that take it too far. You know, if you're watching YouTube videos 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day, and yet you haven't bought any cryptocurrency in the last month, or you haven't done anything to increase your income and increase your ability to buy cryptocurrency over the last month, then this is turned into a distraction and not a revenue producing activity. So for those of you that got your pen and paper out, or that are, you know, that are taking notes on your phone or your computer, write that down, that you want to spend 80% of your time doing revenue producing activities. And that's going to be different in a sense for all of you. And you also have to decide, hey, are these revenue producing activities all going to be focused around your cryptocurrency journey? Or are they going to be, some of them going to be focused around your job or your business or your side hustle? Because I'm here to tell you, it's going to, you know, it's going to be different. Some of you might have a good job and not really have a side hustle or any way to make extra money. And so your 80% might be figuring out ways that you can add value to the company where you work right now, and maybe figure out a way to, you know, ask your boss, hey, can I get a little bit of overtime and create some extra income through that overtime? Maybe you know, start thinking, you know, we were talking about this last week, I think, on the show, where a lot of people say, hey, I'll work harder when my boss pays me more. And I'm here to tell you that that's backwards, that you should work harder and then your boss will pay you more. And you just have to kind of do that in faith. So some of you, your 80% might just be really going to work with the best attitude that you can have, and let your boss know that you're hungry and that you'd like to work a few extra hours. I mean, you realize that if you get just even 5 or 10 hours of overtime in a week, that when you start investing that into crypto and making 10, 25, 50x on your money, that's a quick way to 10x your income versus 2x your income. And it really is easy. When you get into the swing of things, you're already at work most of the time. If you're at your job, you're already there. You're just going to work an extra couple of hours. It's not like you're necessarily going to have to go in on a Sunday or something and go to work, although some of you might have to. I'm just throwing stuff out there, folks. Once again, like in crypto, though, you got to remember the way that you are revenue producing activities in crypto is when you actually buy the crypto. That's really where the revenue is created. And then being patient enough to hold on to it long term, to be able to keep it until the peak of the bull market, when Bitcoin busts through 100,000 and is, you know, going ballistic, which I believe is going to happen towards the end of this year. So being able to buy the crypto is one of the most productive revenue producing activities that there is. So that's, you know, that's a good little, you know, litmus test for those of you that are watching this. How many of you have actually invested in crypto in the last week? If you guys are brave enough to be honest with me, those of you that have invested in crypto and say the last 7 to 14 days have bought a token that you're planning on holding long term, please throw a 1 in the chat. And do me a favor, for those of you that haven't, be transparent about that. Like if it's been a month or 2 or 3 since you've bought any crypto, throw a 2 in the chat. I'd kind of like to see where we're at. I know that you guys are mostly, you know, pretty seasoned and experienced crypto investors, but is there anybody here that hasn't bought any crypto for 2 or 3 months? And, you know, is there anybody here that's been buying crypto? All right, Dave P is a 1. He's been buying some crypto. Makarov is a 1. Eric is a 1. Anybody else out there in the chat that is brave enough to say that they're a 1? Or what about the 2s? You know, I'd love to see if there's any 2s in the group, because I'm curious, folks. If you haven't bought any crypto for a month or 2 or 3, I'd love to know why. I would love to know why, because I think that that is an area of your life where you can 10x very quickly by getting more consistent and figuring out. So if it's just a financial thing where finances are tight and you haven't had any extra money to buy with, that's great. We can help you with that. If it's just not a disbelief, like you're not really sure that the timing is good right now, and you're not sure if you should be buying because you're afraid that the crypto market is going to continue to go down further, that's something that I can totally respect. I understand. I would still have a conversation with you and really tell you why I think it's important to be putting a little bit of money in now, even if you do think it's going to go lower. But if you're in this game to win it, one of the things that you definitely want to do is be adding to your portfolio, even if it's only $25 here, $50 there. Was Makarov said here, I did this mistake a few years ago after the bull run of 2021. I did stop crypto because I didn't know that I could make money in the bear market. Amen, Makarov. That's talk about, providing, building your skill set. A lot of people don't realize that there's money to be made in a bull market. Yeah, it takes some work. It takes some discipline. It's not for everybody. But even if you just don't disengage, like so many people just quit. They quit thinking about crypto. They quit watching YouTube. They quit, working on their crypto portfolio. The real money, there's a lot of people right now that invested tens of thousands of dollars in 22 and 23. They got no stress. They're not worried at all about crypto. They just know that at the end of 24 and going into 25, that the fruits of all of their labor in 22 and 23, they're going to make, 10, 50, 100x on their money, and they're just waiting. So that's one of the reasons why you haven't bought any crypto in the last 2 or 3 months, is because you got your bags packed and ready to go during the, biggest part of the bear market. Congratulations. My hat is off to you. And folks, let that be a lesson to you during the next bull market. The best way to get rich is during the next bear market. If you don't get all the way rich during this bear market, which if you stick with this channel and you do what we talk about, I believe that we can create financial freedom in everybody's life that's watching this show. But if for some reason you don't quite get there yet, you're not ready to leave your 9 to 5, all you got to do in the rest of 25, 26, 27, when we go back into the bearish, part of this cycle, is just, 25 here, 100 there, 500 here, 1,000 there, whatever you can afford, whatever makes sense for you. All you got to do is buy this stuff while it's gotten the heck smashed out of it. And you're inevitably going to turn that money into hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in 2028. Crypto is one of the simplest things to get rich in if you give yourself a 5-year time plan. I came back only this year and began to make a bag since January. So Makarov, I understand, man. I'm preaching to the choir. I definitely disengaged more than I should have. The audience wasn't here. So like my YouTube videos were very few and far between. I had a period of life during that time where I was working hard just to kind of stay afloat and make sure that I kept, my family provided for, and a lot of things going on. So I understand how easy it is to kind of take your eye off of the prize. Todd, welcome, Todd. Hey, man, welcome to the group. On this particular live stream, we don't normally go over a ton of crypto. Like, this is more, as it's called, Monday Mindset Mastery, because we believe here at Infinite Crypto that you got to get this right in order to make sure that everything that you're doing here is for the long term, that it creates wealth that you get to hold on to. But, on that note, I will say that on Wednesdays, we have a microcap gem live stream, same time and place, Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. And we usually go over 5 or 10 or 15 different microcap gems, tokens that I'm excited about, tokens that the community brings to me. And Also, I would recommend getting into our Discord group. We actually have a gems channel in our Discord group where I put some of the top gems and the cryptos that I'm the most excited about. But on that note, Todd, I appreciate you being here, and I will give you one we talked about last Wednesday called Chain Swap, and the ticker for it is C Swap. And I think it's an amazing project. It just got covered by Joe Paris. Also, for those of you that have never heard of Joe, he's a fantastic cryptocurrency YouTuber, has a lot of great content. I love him. Sitting on about 460 or 470,000 subscribers, been in the game for a while. And so I was excited. We had one of our gentlemen, he's not on here so far today, but Deadwood, a guy that's on a lot of our live streams, brought C-Swap to us about a month or so ago. And it's been fun watching that token, and we actually added it to my 100 or my $1,000 to $100,000 bankroll challenge. So I've got 5 tokens in that challenge so far. You can go back. We've done a couple of videos on the bankroll challenge. I want to say Solidus was another token that we're excited about and that we put into that bankroll challenge. We really like the gains tokens, but to me, Todd, I think that just about anything that you buy right now is probably going to 10x over the next year. Now, of course, there's going to be a few outliers, but in general, you could literally take a list of the top couple hundred tokens and just throw darts at the list and buy whatever crypto your dart hits, and you're probably going to do a 10x over the next 12 months. We're really looking for 50 and 100 and 100x plus on this channel. We want to take people that don't have a ton, like my mentor originally turned 10 grand into 2.2 million during the bull market of 17 going into 18. I don't know if I'm going to help you guys get a 200x in your portfolio, but I'm definitely doing everything that I can to ensure that you get at least a 25 or a 50x. And I think that we're going to definitely have some tokens that 100x plus. But Todd, if you're really excited about the crypto side of things, I would recommend checking us out on Wednesdays. We also do at least one deep dive video on a crypto. We've done Aerodrome recently, Solidus. We just talked about a token called Dogeverse. I'm not a big meme coin guy, but this meme coin came across my plate and I wanted to share it with you guys. So I talked about Dogeverse. I think we put that out last Friday. He says, I've been in the space since 2018 at 18 years old and quit in 2021, come back and made 20K. Hope I can make 500K in the next bull run. Todd, you can. And welcome to the channel, man. I love it when I get a young man on the show like yourself. I know I'm a little bit older, but I promise you, man, I got my 17-year-old son is sitting here getting ready to turn 18 in July, sitting here a few feet from me, that helps me with this channel. And we love young entrepreneurs, guys like you that have a dream. This channel exists because I am a firm believer that God did not put us here on this planet to work for another man or woman for 40 or 50 or 60 years of our life, 40 or 50 or 60 hours a week, just to barely make it and exist. So the whole goal of this channel is to help people create freedom in their lives, whatever that means to you. And so I'm excited to have you, Todd. I hope that you subscribe to the channel, and we can definitely $500,000 during this bull run over this next 12 months is absolutely 1,000% doable. And I'm excited to hopefully be a little small part of that. If you stick with the channel, hopefully in a year, you can come back onto a live stream like this and say, hey, I did it. I got to that 500,000 and maybe even beyond. So thank you so much for being here, man. Excited to have you. So folks, we are wiped out, man. It was, we left on Friday. We came home on Sunday. It was just a quick trip. Lots of flying, lots of driving. I don't want to keep you, keep you here all day. I told myself that this was going to be a relatively quick live stream, and then here we are, 45 minutes in. Does anybody have any questions at all? I would definitely recommend, folks, if you haven't done so, write this down. 10X is Easier Than 2X by Benjamin Hardy and Dan Sullivan, and maybe buy that book. Maybe we could all kind of be reading it together. It's on the way, and I'm going to be reading it. So if anybody, does anybody like that idea? It's just kind of an idea that popped into my head. Would you guys enjoy, kind of like a book of the month club or book of, I don't know how long it would take you guys to read a book, but would you guys be excited to maybe come up with a book every once in a while that we read kind of together as a community? And then maybe when we, once a month, we pop onto this Monday and we talk a little bit about it, or, in the inner circle, group coaching, we're going to be doing a minimum of 2 hours a month of this group coaching and mastermind, where those of us that are part of the inner circle get to come on to a Zoom, and actually you get to come up on stage with me and ask me questions. It's going to be super valuable, because not only do you get the answer to your own question, but there's going to be 5 or 10 or 15 other people asking questions, and you get to hear the answer to those questions. And a lot of times, I'm in a couple of these mastermind groups, folks. A lot of times the questions that get asked by the other people end up being more valuable to my journey than even my own question, because sometimes I'm grasping at straws. I'm like, what can I ask? When I get up on the stage with Dave Meltzer, I don't want to sound like a fool. So what can I ask him? And I almost not really make stuff up, but sometimes I'm like really kind of like grasping for something to ask. So I'll ask something and I'm glad that I got the answer. But then somebody else during that hour asked a question that was just absolutely perfect for my situation, and Meltzer's answer gives me a ton of value. So Eric says he's in for the book club. So, if you guys want to do that, all you got to do is just go get that book. I ain't making any money off of the book or anything. So, I'm not trying to sell you, no affiliate links. Go to Amazon or just, Google it wherever you can get it from. But those of you that are interested, go get that book. 10X is Easier Than 2X. And we will read that over the next month, and then we'll kind of go over what we liked about it, and what we didn't, and if there's anything that's that's helpful. But I think that book could definitely help supercharge us and help us get to where we want to go in life even faster than we are. Dave. Thank you, everyone. I had to head into work. Can't wait to stop. Hey, thank you so much for being here, Dave. I really appreciate the fact that you joined us, even though you're getting ready and got to go to work. And, hopefully, Dave, if one of your goals is to not have to go to that job anymore, I'm hoping that by the end of this bull run, we've got your freedom. Now, if you've got the job where you absolutely love it and you have no desire to leave it, hey, that's great too. Hopefully, we'll just have you in a position where you've got some extra funds to where you can really enjoy life and style. But man, if you don't want to go to work for much longer, hopefully you've got 12 months or less, and then you'll have a decision at least as to whether or not you want to continue doing that. So yeah, have a good day, Dave. And with that, folks, I hope all of you have a fantastic day. God bless you. Remember to come back Wednesday morning for the Microcap Gym, deep dive live stream. And with that, folks, I hope your week is incredible and blessed. And we will see you again on Wednesday. I love you all. Thank you all for joining us, and have a great day.